Google, AI isn't a tomorrow thing. It's a today thing. And sure, we can ask for answers to life's tough questions. But today, we can also ask it to do tough things, like ship that wood more efficiently, use satellites to reduce methane emissions, turn DNA into code to make drought-resistant corn. Oh, cool. It can spot and fill potholes, spot disease earlier, spot asteroids to protect Earth. It can create apps with just words and just hours. Today, Google AI can scan 100,000 lines of code in 2 minutes to spot and fix bugs. It can translate from code to code and is one step closer to speaking 1,000 languages, even whale. Today, AI impacts lives for the better and understands the world the way you do. Our AI spots threats 7 times faster, understands speech sentiment, helps prevent vision loss, predicts weather 10 days out in 2 minutes, translates thousands of pages in seconds, detects lead pipes to keep drinking water clean, eliminates paperwork so care is more human, generates from text, visuals, audio, and video, creates entire worlds from your imagination, creates this thing and that thing, a new thing, the new way to cloud.
Hello, Devcon. It's fantastic to be here today. You just saw some amazing real-world examples that you can use AI to solve. You could also use AI to do something else. Think and reminisce about the Roman Empire. Pretty neat, right? This is generated by Gemini Advanced. Thank you for the introduction. To go a little deeper into who I am, I'm Waseem Khadeer, and I lead the customer engineering team at Google Cloud. Over the past 5 years at Google, I've had the privilege of collaborating with incredible customers, just like Liferay, to turn their visionary ideas into reality, using the power of Google technology. I've had the opportunity to work with farmers to analyze drone footage using AI and predict crop yields. It was actually a carrot company, and we figured out how much yield they'll get just from their drone footage. I also was able to have the opportunity to partner with insurance companies and financial institutions to make the entire process less painful for all the parties involved. And that's just scratching the surface. Since this is DevCon, I have to tell you something interesting about myself in terms of coding, right? The first programming language that I learned in school. Any guesses? Actually, not too bad. It was Pascal and Fortran. I know, a lot of you might have not heard of it anymore. So, before I jump into the main topic, I wanted to highlight that we're immensely grateful for Liferay's continued trust in Google Cloud as a partner. I've had an immense opportunity to partner with them for the last 3 years, and I'm thrilled to share a bit about our collaboration. So, the first part is about our technical partnership. So it goes beyond just the surface level. Like the initial MCs presented to you, it was about the AI hackathon and other things that we have done throughout the years. So Liferay has direct access to our product managers and engineers. And that means that they can help influence not only our roadmap, but it's a mutual beneficial roadmap that we create together. And this changes a lot of the features and capabilities that are available. The next thing is about a major milestone, which happened earlier this year, where we launched Liferay on our marketplace. What this means to consumers of Google Cloud and Liferay is that there is another way to access Liferay through Google Cloud's secure portal. So this ensures that Liferay PaaS and SaaS continues to evolve in terms of adoption. But our partnership goes beyond just product integrations and marketplace. We're deeply committed to Liferay's success, and we show up together at events like this. This commitment to mutual growth is what makes this partnership really, really special. And I'm really thankful for Liferay's trust again. Thank you. So, turning our attention to the exciting world of generative AI. we're seeing remarkable growth and adoption across the board. If you look at all the logos that we have, with customers, partners, and ISVs. And the momentum has been continuously increasing over the last year. So if we actually delve a little deeper into which industries, where's the greatest uptake, you would naturally think that it would be mostly from just the tech companies, right? But no, it's across the board. So you have financial institutions, you have consumer goods, you have manufacturing and logistics, you have media and entertainment, and embedded AI and robotics. So if you actually look at the solution areas under each of these industry verticals, you will notice that it's not all about chatbots or just consumer interaction. Gen AI is embedded into the core business functions. For example, if you look at the financial services, you have fraud detection, you have risk assessment, you have inventory management, all the way up to fleet management. So these are core business functions that are now using and leveraging the technology. So we're far from just using chatbots or just receiving customer support calls. So you might be wondering, will the companies I work for truly adopt and embrace generative AI? It's always about the bottom line sometimes, right? So, well, we were curious too. And what we did was we commissioned an independent study of over 2,500 senior leaders across the globe. And this is the report that came out. You can actually search for this report. It's publicly available. If you search for ROI of Gen AI, this report will show up. And you can download and go through the details of how we conducted the research, and what did the individual leaders say. So what this means is, in a nutshell, that ROI, there is a significant ROI for Gen AI. It's not just about using cool technology, but also generating revenue from this technology. Just diving a little deeper into the metrics. So 61% of the organizations are already using Gen AI for business in production. So this is no longer just a dev and test environment. And if you think about it, of the 61%, 24% are already in production for over a year. And it has had direct impact on their revenue of at least 6%, if not more. And the ROI timeframe, like you think about it, okay, we've made huge investments in the models and the platform. How long does it take to get that ROI? 82% of those organizations that have already adopted, 71% of them see that within the first year itself. So it's not a long-term thing. It's within the short term. So with all the excitement that you hear about AI and the hype of AI, you might be thinking, what's Google's role in this revolution? Is it just new in the last few years? Does it go a lot back, more back in terms of, it's not all the way back to the Roman Empire, but it's pretty sizable. So AI is in our DNA. It starts with industry-defining research. So if you think about it, there are thousands of researchers that were allocated and dedicated to AI for over the years. If you think about our products and search and all YouTube, they all leveraged AI for a long time. And if you think about the pioneers of AI, Google will definitely be mentioned. The first paper that came out on transformer models, which is the foundation of LLMs, it took everyone by storm. That actually was released in 2017. So, but it's not just about the research or just the models, but it's also about embracing the entire ecosystem. So you have your open frameworks, and Google is actually one of the lead contributors to OSS. So we really believe in cultivating this culture of increasing open source and bringing the community together. So in terms of having models, foundations, building the ecosystem, the next thing is about scale. How can we really scale it across the globe? So if you think about it, think about Google's scale. We have close to 9 applications which have over 1 billion daily users. And actually, we crossed the threshold of 2 billion users per day for 6 of these apps. I'm sure you can guess which ones. Finally, it's about the infrastructure, where all of this runs. And I'll dive a little deeper into the infrastructure in a bit. But the infrastructure, if you actually look at it, it's planetary scale. That's what actually runs YouTube, your Gmail, photos, your Android applications. So diving a little more into the infrastructure. It's the foundation upon which everything else is built. And it's definitely not a simple commodity. In fact, 2 of the leaders in terms of industry analysis are Forrester and Gartner. And these are the reports from them. So on the dark side, you have Forrester, and then on the light side, you have Gartner. And both of these industry analysts have marked Google Cloud as a true leader in the space. And you can actually see how we transitioned over the years and grown to that state. So let's dive deep into the technology. Enough about all the metrics and this. What's this AI strategy for Google? We focus on 3 main things: the model, the platform, and the infrastructure. So if you have to actually think about it, the model is the brain, the intelligence. The platform is the nervous system. And the infrastructure is the backbone. So what does Google's technology stack look like? You might have heard a lot of buzzwords in terms of Gemini, Vertex. So how do these all fit together? You might have even heard of things like Model Garden, Model Builder, agents. So this slide will actually help you understand a little bit where everything fits in. So this is our unified open stack for AI. So we start off with our AI hypercomputer, which basically is all the components that make up the hardware specialized for AI. It includes TPUs, GPUs, the network infrastructure, the storage that makes up a hypercomputer. And then you have your models that are pre-built for Google, be pre-trained, and foundational models like Gemini. Vertex AI, I'll go a little deeper into it through the presentation, is our platform that ties it all together. And then we have Gemini for Google Cloud, Workspace, and AI agents. This is more of a where can you access these tools, right? If you have Google Cloud, you can directly access Gemini there. If you have Workspace, you can access Gemini there. And we'll go a little deeper into AI agents throughout the presentation. So, as promised, let's dive a little deeper into Vertex AI. So, if I have to use one sentence to define what's Vertex AI, I would just say that it's a unified machine learning platform. It's designed to make it easier for everyone from seasoned data scientists all the way to people who are just starting out with AI. And what can it do? It basically is build, deploy, and scale machine learning models. We'll dive a little deeper into each of these 3 segments of Vertex AI: the Model Garden, the Model Builder, and the Agent Builder. So the Model Garden is a curated collection of foundation models, task-specific models, and open source models, all accessible within a single platform. So if you look at all these different layers, these are just segmentations of the models available. You have the general purpose models, which are the really large language models like Gemini. Then you have foundation models, which are more specific to a particular mode. So for example, these are multimodal, the top ones, and then you have specific, like for example, Imagen. The images that I've created are from Imagen 3. So it's text to picture. And then you have Chirp, which is text to speech. And then you have Cody, which we'll talk a little bit about it when we get into agents. And then embeddings. So Google task-specific models are where you can embed these technologies into a much more specific use cases. And then we have domain-specific, which is basically industry-specific. For example, if it's healthcare, you can use MetaLM. If it's security, and you can use SecPom. These are all Google proprietary models, but you can access all the open source models as well on Google's Vertex AI, because we understand that models, the technology is changing, the test data, the training data is changing over time, and there are a lot of specific tailor-made use cases that are there, and we can't cover them all. And that's where we rely heavily on our partners and the open source community to make sure that this platform is complete and covers all the different use cases that you could possibly use. So coming on to next, the model builder. So this can be your single platform to tune, augment, manage, and monitor models. And you can use a variety of tuning and customization techniques, right from fine-tuning, reinforcement learning with human feedback, distilling, low-rank adoption, and more. To augment models, you can use Vertex AI provides this special tools for enterprise application where you can connect to enterprise applications or databases. And that's based on extensions and function calling. Have you heard of RAG? So that's one of the main things now, right? So Vertex also provides retrieval augmented generation so that you can provide personalized answers and recommendations. So now when you have Vertex AI to augment the models, you have up-to-date knowledge, you're connected to your applications, you have connected to your data. Then MLOps comes in, because what happens to those models over time? They drift, and how do you retrain them? How do you make sure that they're still accurate? And that's where the MLOps platform comes in to maintain and evaluate performance quality and also to do monitoring. So this is a little deeper into the model builder. You can look at how you can use the foundation models, you can uptrain them, or you can create your own models, deploy them, develop them, or prototype them. Talking a little about Agent Builder. Agent Builder lets you develop easy, enterprise-ready Gen AI experiences. So it provides you all the tools that you need. So depending on where you are on the spectrum in terms of a developer, I'll go into that a little deeper in the next slide, from a no-code console all the way up to code first. Some of you might be really good experts in the technology and think that no code isn't right for you, but you want to actually customize, then you can go all the way and use the code first approach. Some of you just want to focus more on the use case rather than on the technology, and that's where the no code or low code approach may better fit you. And all of this is available in the same platform, same console. So you don't even want to use low code, no code? There is another option for you. And that's through pre-built agents. So we decided to create 6 types of pre-built agents ready to tackle over 100 real-world use cases, right from customer agents all the way up to security agents. They still leverage Vertex AI, they still leverage our infrastructure, everything is just pre-built and ready to use. Since it's Devcon and you're all developers, you would probably want to know what makes the most sense for you. And how do you create amazing applications? And that's where the code agents come in. So we had a workshop earlier today. For those of you who could attend, you would have seen that live demo of how to use code agents. So there are over 2 million developers worldwide that are currently using code agents. Let's try to understand a little bit of what code agents can do for you. So it's integrated within the IDE. So you don't have to go to Stack Overflow, go to Reddit, or go to some places to ask questions, try to get code suggestions or improvements. It's actually right there where you're working. It can auto-suggest code. It can generate code. You can ask questions about the code. If it's someone else's code, you can just say, like, what does it do? What's the logic behind it? And it can even refactor existing code with code transformations. Hope that this is something interesting to you. So there's another way of looking at this, more from a software development lifecycle. So if you actually look at the whole complete software development lifecycle, we can actually go right from design all the way to deploying. And every step of the way, Code Assist can help. And it's not about replacing anything. It's about augmenting, helping, and assisting, making your job more efficient and less strenuous. So what are the real world numbers in terms of benefit? Like how much improvement do you think you would see by using Code Assist? We actually did a survey and utilized the numbers from our real world users. And this is what we came up with. So 40% faster completion for common dev tasks, less time understanding for new code, and half the time for writing new code as well as writing unit tests. You might think, okay, this might be a very generic thing. Do you have something very specific? So we actually interviewed one of our largest adopters of Gemini Code Assist. It's a retail company. I don't know if you've heard of it, but it's called Wayfair. So they're a digital native retailer with over 22 million customers. They completed a number of pilots and evaluations, compared major metrics, the speed, quality, and also the sentiment. And they landed on Gemini Code Assist, and the results were amazing for them. It's actually higher than the average of what I showed you before. So if you wanted to compare the numbers, the average was a little lower. This was higher than average in terms of numbers. You can hear from the CTO of Wayfair what they thought about Gemini Code Assist.
At Wayfair, we're here to help our over 22 million customers create their feeling of home. As a digitally native retailer, our tech platform is the bedrock of our growth. Our developers' needs are top of mind for us. We strongly believe generative AI will be at the forefront of this work, and we want to provide them with access to generative AI coding tools, enabling them to build faster and with greater quality, and ultimately enhancing their job satisfaction. We chose Gemini Code Assist after running a number of pilots and evaluations that measured metrics pertaining to speed, quality, and sentiment. When we looked at the results against the control, it showed that Gemini Code Assist brought in significant improvements across the spectrum. For example, developers were able to set up their environments 55% faster than before. There was over 48% increase in unit test coverage for the code, and 60% of developers reported they were now able to focus on more satisfying work. We're now rolling it out on demand to all developers and are building a suite of workforce productivity tools like automated code review, document search, and chat. We're excited to see how code agents can continue to increase developer productivity and satisfaction. And at Wayfair, we look forward to continuing our innovation with Google Cloud. Thanks for having me.
Okay. So now I have something really interesting for all of you. Hopefully it will blow your mind. This is something that's available publicly right now that you can go ahead and try. It's in preview, but it works amazingly well. It's a new way to understand and interact with your data. It's Notebook LM. So if you actually go to notebooklm.google today, all you have to do is upload your data source. It could be a document, it could be a YouTube video, or it could be a video that you created, or anything, any source that you might have today, and just upload it to notebook.lm. If you don't want to upload, you can even provide the URL. I did something interesting for all of you. I opened up Notebook.lm and pointed it to Devcon, Liferay Devcon, just the URL. And these are the results.
All right, get ready. We're going to dive into Liferay Devcon 2024. You sent over some really fascinating material about it. It's like the biggest gathering of Liferay developers worldwide, right?
Yeah.
And already happened, right? Back in November in Budapest.
That's right.
But you want the key takeaways without having to dig through all the information yourself, right?
Yeah, that's the goal.
Especially because this unconference thing really caught my eye. You know, they made it an official part of the program.
Yeah.
Which is interesting. Let's dig into that.
It is interesting. Yeah. I think it really speaks to Liferay's commitment to open collaboration,
Okay.
which is pretty core to their philosophy.
So before we get too far into Devcon itself, what exactly is Liferay for anyone who might not be,
Yeah.
super familiar?
Yeah. So Liferay is, they're all about building amazing digital experiences.
Oh,
Think websites, portals, mobile apps, anything a business uses to connect with you, the customer.
got it.
They do this through a cloud-based digital experience platform, or DXP for short.
Right.
And what's really interesting, especially for someone like you who likes to really understand things deeply, is that Liferay is open source.
Ah, so it's not just like a black box, right? Like I could actually go in and see the code.
Exactly. That transparency is a huge deal for security and reliability,
Yeah.
because you have this massive global community of developers constantly scrutinizing and improving the code base.
So this was actually a 20-minute podcast that was created by just providing the URL. I did not provide any feedback or any inputs, any prompts, nothing. All I did was just provide the URL and just said, generate a podcast, and that's it. And that's what got generated. Thank you. And by the way, these are not real people. This is also AI generated. I don't know if you can find them in Liferay or anywhere around here.
Yeah.
So, and if you look at it, the iconography and the labeling, it's on point. So hopefully this was interesting to you and something that you can really try. It opens up a new way of interacting with your data. You want to create a summary of information, you want to query your information, you can do anything just by uploading your data into Notebook LM or just pointing towards it and then start asking questions. Or if you're on the go and you're driving or you're in transit and you just want to hear and learn about the information, it'll generate a podcast for you with all the information and try to make it more interesting and more relatable. So that's all I had. Thank you so much for being such a nice audience and listening to it.